Hello, so I think I'm going to have this video about surgery. And I know I've shown you the sign, surgery, and you can have surgery wherever you go. This is a generalized surgery. But if you know where you're going to have surgery, like on your knee, of course you can't see it, you have your knee up here, or you're going to have, or I've had people do heart surgery, knee surgery, shoulder surgery. So, and I've already shown you that too. So this is a real life conversation that I had with a woman, a deaf woman, a couple of years ago. And so I thought I would do that so you could see different signs and how it's used in real life. So I saw this woman, I was interpreting for her, and I saw her and she was limping. And I go, what's wrong? What happened? And she said, well, I tell you this story. My husband and I, we went on vacation. We went to the beach and we rented a beach house. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it was. And so we were going to be there for 2 weeks. Oh, that's so cool. That's so nice. Yes, and so every morning I woke up early because I had to wake up early for my work. And so I would wake up early and I would go out onto the beach and I would sit in a chair and I would get a book and I would read it. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Yeah, and I'd have my coffee too, and I would just sit there in silence before people got out onto the beach and to the ocean. And I could just look out at the ocean and read my book and have my coffee. And I go, oh, that just sounds so wonderful and relaxing. Yes. Well, what happened is that I was going out early, and then I realized that the sunset, or the sunrise, I did the sign, but not this, didn't say it correctly. Oh, that's doing two languages that sometimes is pretty hard. So I noticed that the sunrise and the colors were so beautiful, and I wanted to take a picture, but I left my phone and my camera in the house. So I ran upstairs and I got my camera. And then when I was going down the stairs, I fell. I missed the step and I fell down. Oh no. Ooh. Ouch. And I spelt it. And she goes, yes. And so then I noticed, I looked at her, and there's not a sign for ankle, so we spell it ankle. And then you can have like your foot here and your leg here and your ankle right here, right? It's your wrist, but that's her ankle. And it was all swollen. And I was going, oh, wow. She goes, yes, and I can't put on anything, and my feet are so swollen, so I can't even wear shoes. I have to wear, see the thong sandals? Oh no, how awful. And it hurts really bad, I'm sure. So she said she had an appointment with the doctor and she needed to get an x-ray. Now, you can spell x-ray. I think I've already shown you this one too in another video. Or you can do like, like the radiation buzzing on you. So it depends, like if you're going to get like a x-rays and you don't know where, or if you know that a place they're going to x-ray it, or most people just they spell it. But if they don't understand the x-ray, and it's like, oh, nee, and I always make the sound, but I didn't make it in my mind. I make it for you because it's fun, and that way it can help you not to be embarrassed to make the sound. So when you're practicing, because it helps you visualize and see it and be there. And I go, oh, well, let me know. Tell me what the x-ray says. Okay, I will. So she went and got the x-ray, and it showed that on her ankle and her foot there, it's fractured. You can say fractured is, right? It's squiggly line. You can say it's broken. I think there were several bones that were broken or fractured. It depends, like some larger bones, you would just, it would be very clear distinction between a fracture and a break. but with the ones in the ankle and in the foot, and they might be kind of similar because it's smaller bones. Oh no, what are they going to do? Say do, 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 do. What are they going to do? Surgery. When do they have the surgery? Immediately, because they said the bones, they don't want them to start healing because it wouldn't be all, yeah, I understand that. How do they fix it? She goes, oh, I think they put in pins, P-I-N. Hurt, yeah. So then she had the surgery, and they took another x-ray, and so they could see what they did and how it was fixing it. And she had several pins. Now, you could do that several ways. Like I would have my arm or my ankle and say they put a pin here and here and here, right? Kind of show it what it looks like. And so they could kind of keep those bones, straight so they match and they're going to work out. So you can do that. Or you can just say they put in several pins, several pins. A few, several. Goes backwards. But it would be more clear so you can see that there's pins in there. And anytime that you can put a classifier or to pantomime, if you want to say that, or if you want to act it out, any type of thing with gestures, it's more clear. Instead of trying to make a sign or to spell or to sign each word that you want to use, because you would have to use your ankle and say, oh, they're like this, they put in the pin here and here and in my foot, and I was like, oh. So it's like, oh, look like it hurts. And so then you see the x-ray and you go, oh yeah, ooh, wow. And so then she limped and limped and limped, and she was on crutches, and she said, oh, it's hard to get to my office because of the, and she goes, it's this long hall, and I have to get on my crutches. Ooh. She goes, and I have my purse and my bag, and she's even more awkward. Oh, maybe someone can help you. She's, well, and then she got that scooter, so she could put her leg on it and just, oh, that's fun. And it's faster. She says, yes. So, so then that happened. So then later, as time went on, and she was still limping, and she had on that boot, where they held the whole boot, and she said it was still hurting, and it was still so swollen, and she could not, wear her skinny jeans or anything like that, and she had to have, the sandals, the thongs, because her shoes would not fit. But she had that boot on most of the time. And as time went on, and it was still hurting and hurting, and they looked at the x-ray to see how those bones were, how were they healing? Were they going back to normal so they could heal properly? And so we looked at that, and so they were healing, but it still hurt her and hurt her and hurt her. And she was so swollen for the longest time, for almost a year. And she even thought about having the pins taken out if it continued to hurt. But like after a year, she could finally walk normal. It was still a little bit swollen. And the doctor says, well, it's healing very nicely. So that's a conversation that you can have about that when people have pins. You feel like, sometimes you feel like, oh, that's so intricate. But when you look at the picture, like the x-ray, you just kind of try to make that picture that you're seeing on x-ray in the air. And so those are the ways to do it. And some people are really good at it and able to show that visualizations. And I'm always admire them, whoever that is. Now, another friend of mine, she had another surgery, and it was knee surgery. It was knee surgery. Um, and she had her right one finished last year. She had a knee replacement. Remember, we have this, and we have one here, and then it goes out. Replacement. So she had a knee replacement because before she was getting injections, and let me back up a little bit. Like, I can't even see my knee. She was getting injections, and then the doctor says, "Well, you can do the injections every 3 months, and if it's more frequently that you need it, because we can't give it to you more than every 3 months. It has to be every 3 months, not more than that, not every 2 months." So if the injections aren't working anymore, then the other solution is surgery and have that replaced. So she finally decided that she would have her right one done first because she was kind of limping all the time. And then that was hurting her hip. So, it's like, what do you do? So she had her right knee surgery done. And then recently, she had her left knee surgery. So she showed me a picture, and it's kind of swollen a little bit, and it's all bandaged up. And I told her, I said, well, there's a smile on your face, but it's because of the IV medication, right? So she was feeling pretty good. But so when you have that surgery done, it replaces it and explain what they do. And they put in a false, fake knee, and so they can show you on the x-ray what it looks like, so you can see that is that fake knee, and you want to make sure that it's in the right place and not moving awkwardly or wrong, because then it will start to hurt again. And so it's just kind of the same thing. You're looking for that placement. You're looking for where the surgery is, or on the ankle or on the shoulder. And that same person, she had carpal tunnel. And I do, instead of spelling carpal tunnel, I may spell it the first time, and then later I do CT on the wrist. CT. Because if I do CT and they don't know what that is, then you spell it out, and they may still know what that means. And so then the doctor then explains what carpal tunnel is. It's, and I always say it's that motion that's repeated again and again and again, and it damages it. So I try to go into the least amount of medical jargon, but still make it clear and understandable what's going on. And I've had some people where they want to know that really technical medical jargon, and so I do that. So, but if someone wants to know, it's like, well, why does that happen? And so, and I go, where it hurts, and it's because of whatever the doctor says. And so it's usually that surgery here, and they go in here, and then they fix it, sew it, take it out, whatever. So you can take out, and then you can sew it up, and it'll be swollen here or swollen there, but it's usually done in the wrist, where they go in there and take something out, clip it, or whatever they do. I can't remember now. But you can have that surgery where they have that surgery here. You can say carpal tunnel. That's pretty common for people to have carpal tunnel. And like if they have like arthritis, they normally, like for example, like in the knee, if there's arthritis there on the bone, then it's not really surgery, but it's called a procedure, right? But a procedure where they give you anesthesia, and they do everything like surgery. So, so I would tell them that they are going to like shave off, where that arthritis is on the bone, right? And so they file it off and they go, oh, okay. So they understand that. And so, and we understand that, but we are so accustomed to hearing the words, arthritis, we're going to shave it off. But do we see it? We don't. We don't see it. We just hear the words. So you want those words to become clear, and you need to show it. So sometimes it's hard, you have to think about it, but if you can see it like on an x-ray, or like for me as an interpreter, I would study how are they doing that, or how does the body work. So like when they have like a colonoscopy, so they go in, so I always say, their anus, and they go in there, and they're going, yeah, they're going to give you medicine, you'll be asleep. And they go in there with the camera, and then they have the camera, and they look, and do they see anything on there, like a growth, they call it a polyp, but you would say, it's like a growth, is it growing on inside there? And so then your poop gets stuck, or you can explain it that way, or people are going to explain it that way. And then so they go in there, and they go, oh. And so one doctor says, well, we found it in the descending colon that goes down. So then you want to be able to explain that, and it's like, oh, that's why I felt that pain, because it was on the left side, that type of thing. So you want to be able to show it, and it takes practice. And some people are really good at that, and I noticed that men seem to be really good at that. And so I get kind of envious of that. I'm going, I've been studying all these years, and I see people that they're just able to visualize it, and then they're able to put it out there. And so that's what you want to do. You don't have to be this expert, but this is what you do when you play charades. You might want to play charades more frequently with your friends when you get together, your hearing friends, and so you can practice, trying to figure out how you would put something out there in space without saying anything, and make it clear that people understand what's going on. So sometimes that's very helpful. Charades are very, but when I play charades now, I have a hard time not signing, not wanting to sign, instead of just really using a lot of gestures and classifiers and those types of things. Okay, well, I didn't think this would be a long video, but really practice this so you can have really wonderful conversations with your deaf friends, or with people that you meet, and you can communicate with them. So it's so wonderful. So that way everyone has this equal universal access. Anyway, have a good day. See ya.